Monica Makes It Happen podcast is proudly supported by Goya. If it's Goya, it has to be good. And by JP Morgan Chase, New York's hometown bank for over 225 years.
Hi, everybody. It is number 11, our podcast. Very fancy studio. Normally, we're on a couch somewhere. Sometimes our streaming studio, but we're actually in the TV studio. That's because, well, I have someone who I respect so much with her partner here. María Trusa is here. Trusa, the Chief Executive Officer of Transformé, hopefully I'm saying this right, Medical Center and Urgent Care in White Plains. And then her partner, Gina Cappelli, is the president. You've been partnering with Goya Care, so we've seen you in all sorts of ways doing beautiful things for our children and for our families, but it's your story. So that's what we're doing this podcast for. I want to hear more about your story. Our viewers want to know more about your story. Then we're going to take a commercial break and then come back and talk about practical information, specifically about menopause. Yes, I'm talking about it. For so many years I didn't, and my mom didn't either. Are you guys listening? I hope you're listening. This is for men too. It's very important, men's health too. And then I'm going to do a speed round, which I always like to do at the end to keep people watching. So first, María, it's all about you. I love you so much.
I love you too, Monica.
You're a human trafficking survivor, thriver, and now CEO, philanthropist. I mean, your story is so profound. Could you just give us a little insight about what happened to you and what you're doing now?
Yeah, thank you, Monica. I mean, you have been an angel to me because you've helped me continue to deliver the message, which is breaking the silence. It's the hardest thing for many of us survivors. You know, I've mentioned the body keeps the score because I've told my story so many times that I keep every time I feel it in my body, in my heart, in my soul. I was 9 years old in the Dominican Republic, and unfortunately my father, who was an alcoholic, made a decision that changed my life and the life of our family and his life. He decided in the middle of the night to take my little brother that was 4 years old at that time with a guy that used to do witchcraft in this small town. And I know people, this is like, you cannot even think, you know, that this is possible, but 50 years ago, this is when this happened, we assumed that they were going to sacrifice my little brother. And I took my little brother from my father's arms, and I ended up being the one that had to go. So my father left me with this man where he did witchcraft, and he forced me to drink a bottle of whiskey at the age of 9. I could have died just from that.
But you say it was a gift because then you were numb. It numbed you to what was happening to you.
Yeah.
And why I'm so obsessed with your story is there's so many viewers that reach out after your story that you've been on my show a few times, that say, I'm so happy that you shared Maria's story. Who is she? I want to know more about her. So that's why I listen to them. They're speaking to you saying, I need to hear that because it's happened to them. A lot of our viewers.
Millions. You know, I realize, because I do, as you know, healing retreat, I realize that a lot of people actually avoid listening to me. There are women that have come to the retreat that say, I avoided you for a year because listening to me is, they're listening to their story.
Yes.
And they're having such a hard time. Breaking the silence is the most difficult thing to do for sex traffickers, survivors of sex traffic, and survivors of sexual abuse.
And you know, you've dedicated your life. I hear you speak to crowds. And they always lean in. They want to know more, and they relate to you so much. So, and that's how I feel about you. I just want to know more about you.
Thank you.
But the fact that you've been able to turn it into something so wonderful, like you've turned something so awful, is that the key to why you, first of all, look so fabulous?
Thank you.
I'm superficial in that way, but you just look like you're reverse aging. Is that part of it, the inside job that you're doing? Maybe if someone's listening and is a victim or a thriver now, is that the key?
The key is that you have to become the #1 person in your life. And the healing that needs to happen, we're going to heal forever. I mean, everybody they carry trauma, but the healing is a lifelong journey. But the more you heal, then the more you connect it to your light. Because that light was given to you when you were born.
Ooh, yes.
And we have disconnected from our light. So #1 person in the world has to become you. And I have learned that lesson, and I implement it every single day in my life, and I've passed that along to my children. So they understand the importance of putting yourself first. And then you are able to shine your light on others.
You're so awesome, because some of us have been traumatized maybe later in life because of other things. And so if they're watching, you can start your life over at any moment.
Yes.
You're an example of that. I mean, you started your life over and over again. I love what you share about your son, and I got to meet your son. Beautiful story for moms who carry guilt about the way they've treated their children, and they can start over their lives any time. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the Center for Women, because I know it's been so hard for me to find resources, and that's where you come in. Your partner in crime. You're going to talk a little bit about that. That's after this break. We're back with two superheroes and superwomen who are helping so many thousands of women. Can you tell me about menopause? And you're helping so many women. I know I couldn't find resources, so you're helping people, especially in underserved communities, find the resources they need. Not just women, it's men too. Right?
You know, nobody talks about it, and as you were saying, you know, with your mom, nobody talks about it, and now we are the voice for women. And at this point, you know, we go through it, and it's every woman's nightmare. Unfortunately, it is, and we all are going to go through it, and there's no stopping it. But there are answers, and there are ways of dealing with it as they occur. And the problem that we're having now is it's actually affecting younger women. So it used to be, you know, age 55 and up. Now it's 45 is the norm.
It's in the 40s now is the premenopause, and then your center is doing fantastic things. It's like a holistic approach, but it's also like a full. It's not just the physical; it's the mental too, right?
Yeah. So you know what? Transformé MD was set up to be able to help women who don't have other options. I am a sufferer. I've suffered, I let it go. I'm 13 years since I started menopause, and I have suffered from painful sex to hair loss, you know, not so much incontinence, but I have had a lot of different issues with menopause because I let it go and I didn't treat it. I'm not a candidate for HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, because it's too many. There's too many risks versus rewards at this stage that I'm in.
After 10 years, right?
After 10 years, you don't want to play with hormone replacement therapy.
Is that right? Because everyone's saying that that's the answer, but I'm so glad you're saying that.
Not
Maria,
after
you might
10
be
years.
saving someone's life. So after 10 years,
there's the more risk. We have a longevity doctor, Dr. Butchelary, that we deal with, that comes to our facility to see our patients. And he was the one I said, can I get on estrogen? Can I do something? He said, absolutely not. He goes, you're too far into menopause. It's actually could hurt you more than help you.
That is a mind-blowing thing that you just said. And little things like that, if they want to reach you, how do they reach you at this center if they need you?
They could go to our website, and there's a telephone number. And it's so funny, you can call our main number, which is the 914-723-4900.
Great, okay.
And they can get a hold of us.
Yeah, I'm calling now. But Maria, I mean, you say that this is such a big deal for you because you're not only, you know, have your own experience, but you've seen breakthroughs in women, specifically in communities that matter the most.
Yes.
Hispanic women.
I was sharing with you that my daughter, I realized that my daughter carries my trauma, and actually we are in, so sexual health is so critical. The work that we're doing is connected to our mental health. It is connected to what we've gone through in life. And when you're sexually abused, you carry that and you pass it along to your children without knowing.
I'm glad you gave me the permission, because my mom, you know, her trauma is passed on to me, and I always wondered, you know, I've talked to family members about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why, you know, you're like, Eureka, oh my gosh, you know, the fact that you say things that just blow my mind. That's why I keep having you back on my show. We're going to go to a commercial. Coming back, I want to do a speed round with these women about what you need to know, not just about menopause and health, but everything else. Come back. All right, now we're back. Maria, misconception, the biggest misconception when it comes to women's health.
That your mind is not connected to your body. It is the connection, the mind becomes the first thing that you need to take care of, because the mind is it's taking the body and doing whatever it wants with it based on your trauma. So we need to connect mind, soul, and body.
Amen. And Gina, if someone's watching, especially men and women, what's one vitamin or one thing they can do immediately to improve their health that they may not know?
Yeah, it's not a good, it's not an answer that a question I can answer.
Yeah.
They really need to seek help with like a longevity doctor.
Oh,
they need
a
to
longevity doctor.
Because there are, you know,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
There's a longevity doctor.
Sure, it's an anti-aging longevity doctor, and through blood work they can see what you're deficient in. You know,
we have plans that he put together for us. People just pick vitamins.
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I do.
Let me get a multivitamin.
I go to
that doesn't work
GNC
like
or I
that.
go and I
No,
buy.
it
I
doesn't
go
work
to the
like that.
grocery store and buy a multivitamin. I'm sure that's what most of us do.
Yeah, but you need to have your blood work done. What are you deficient in? What do you have too much
I have no
of?
idea.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Vitamin D, he says, is one that you pretty much everybody needs,
Right, take it
especially
every day.
women. Vitamin
Every
D.
day.
All right, so, okay, I'm learning. Biggest achievement that both of you have had when it comes to women and female health? Specifically, if you can give me an example, biggest achievement. Maria, you
For
first.
me, is really being the person that holds the secrets of so many women. They share with me their story, and seeing them let go just by breaking the silence. So for me, that is one of the biggest accomplishments.
You have these
And I've had
retreats.
many accomplishments, but when I see their faces transformed after they're able to break the silence, it's magical.
Gina?
I think it's helping the women through Transformé MD when they thought they had no other options. They had no place to go. They didn't talk about it. They were disconnected from their husbands or their partners because they were suffering because they were broken, and they're not broken. So we were giving them the answers and the treatments to be able to get them, you know, back to feeling like 100%.
I love it. And we're, you know, I'm going to share this information on my social media platforms. I always end with, who should I have on my next podcast? Remember? You were the answer. That's why she's here. Someone told me you. I think Bob said Maria. But who should I have on my next podcast? You go first.
I would say my son.
Oh, your son.
Yeah, my
I
son.
love it.
Combining the story, my story, and you know the story of what I did when he was 3 months old, and the healing journey that he's taken, and what an amazing healer he is at this time in his life.
And so handsome, too.
Thank
My
you.
dad. Gina, same question. Who should I have?
I would back her up on that one. I think
Oh,
Franco is
double vote.
He's
Okay.
amazing. He is amazing, and he could help so many just with his words.
Yeah, and our son is our soul, our heart and our soul. Isn't it
Yeah.
true? I love my son as well. Thank you both for being here. I love
Thank you for
both
having
so
us.
very much. And we're going to have your son on the next podcast. There you go, number 11. Don't forget to share this, and always watch Pix 11 at 5:45 and 6:45. We're continuing to make things happen in your homes, in your communities. And now we're talking about incredible women who are making things happen in health. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you for
I
having
love
us.
you. We're making it happen together. See you next time.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
I love you.